if you
Yep.
have the chance to go with somebody different, which I think I had Daniel. That's the one I went with since we had that fire raid boss here. He's actually been doing pretty good. I think he's part of my main team now.
Yeah, he's really good. He has the what is it, the single target heal and then the AoE heal with the regen, right?
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, that's I use Estelle, which is the light version of that, but now I pulled Verica, who's a 4-star healer,
Mhm.
but the first skill is actually the AoE heal with the regen.
So what you're saying is use Daniel, but if you had those OP units that you did use those were better.
Yeah, of course, of course.
What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again with a brand new video for Dragalia Lost. Today, we're going to be taking a look at 3 big things that we wish we both knew when we first got started. And in order to help me out with that today is none other than my man, Barcode. What's going on, boss?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good, good, good. I'm excited to get this done. It's our first collab for Dragalia Lost. This is what I've been waiting for so long, and who better to do it with than Barcode here. So before we get into the topic at hand, my man, this is your first time on our channel, so can you do me a favor, let the community know who you are and what you're about?
Yep. Real name's Brian. Been going by Barcode tag for, gosh, 13, 14 years. World of Warcraft, all types of different games. Started this kind of gotcha type games in Summoner's War. Played that for 4.5 years, and Violet Runes kind of giving me PTSD.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I followed Childish and a lot of the other YouTubers back in the day in Summoner's War, YDCB. Just want to give a shout out to Summoner's War Guild Eureka 7.
Okay.
And also, I know you did a guild recruitment thing for them back in the day too.
Right.
And Channel 106, I used to hang out in there. But yeah, I mean, I've been after Summoner's War, went to this game Air of Light, which I thought was going to be the end all be all. Amazing graphics, but just no marketing for that.
Right.
Now I'm on Dungeon Hunter Champions pretty much full time. I'm on the beta team, and I'm also on Dragalia Lost, obviously playing that pretty hardcore as well.
Yeah, hardcore I think is an understatement. Generally speaking, if you guys haven't checked out his channel, whatever game he really gets into, he's gonna provide the latest and greatest like information on that. You actually spend a ton of time through your craft, and I even remember in DHC you spent a little bit of time making up that tier list, which I think a lot of people enjoyed.
Yep, yeah, oh man, I did a lot of time in doing those tier lists, and there was some champions which we all get things wrong, but from a theory standpoint, I kind of just based it on skills and current content that's out there. So how I base my tier list is just overall, not being best of best, but overall usage in the whole entire game. So
Sure.
free to play players, like majority of them, don't waste their resources in areas where they don't need to.
Gotcha. Sounds good. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get it to the topic at hand. We got 3 things to talk about that we wish we knew before we got started. I obviously have like 24 things to talk about, but that's not the point. We're not going to be talking about this video. You've learned a lot along the way, so let us know. Let the community from my side of the channel, let them know some of those tips you got from them. What's the first one?
Sure. Let's see. First thing will probably be don't spread your resources out early game. So when I first started, I was kind of making mono element teams, just all really I started with all light and all dark just because, elements and how they work. You can take light and dark pretty much everywhere. So, and then I was basing it off of 1 damage dealer of the regular type. So 1 nature, 1 fire, 1 water damage dealer. Now, really having full team comps is optimally what you want to do in the mid game or end game or whatever the case may be. But early game, I would definitely just focus on 1 damage dealer of each element. So fire, nature, water, light, and dark. And the reason is obviously everybody knows you can iframe dodge a lot of the skills that the dragons or any elements, any enemies that do damage with the yellow abilities. You can iframe that by just using an ability. The purple areas you can't dodge that, so you literally have to get out of the way. But everything else you can just iframe dodge and not take any damage. And then after that, after you have one damage dealer of each type, I would definitely work on 2 healers. And that's just so when you do co-op and things like that, you can, if everybody has a damage dealer and no one's bringing a healer, you can then bring a healer in the harder levels. So you could do, 2 healers of opposite elements. So you can take either or, wherever. So what I mean by that is just fire and water. So you build a fire healer and a water dungeon is up, you can just bring your water healer instead. Or if you main your water healer and a nature dungeon comes up, you can bring your fire healer instead.
Right.
Makes sense. Or just go with the one healer, which is light and dark, if you have a pretty good healer for that. So
yeah, I was going to say, one of the healers that initially got started for everybody, we were rocking Cleo, and you were, I think, one of the first people to tell me that while it seemed like to be a good healer for most people at the start, the AI is a little derpy, so if you have the chance to go with somebody different, which I think I had Daniel, that's the one I went with since we had that fire raid boss here. He's actually been doing pretty good. I think he's part of my main team now.
Yeah, he's really good. He has the single target heal and then the AoE heal with the regen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I use Estelle, which is the light version of that, but now I pulled Verica, who's a 4-star healer, but the first skill is actually the AoE heal with the regen.
Okay.
So that comes up a lot quicker, and then the second skill which is nice to have. And then the second skill is the single target heal.
Yeah.
That does a ton. And I'm going to be using her end game in the high Midgard trial.
Gotcha.
That's my main focus for her. But yeah, I mean, Thania is great too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much the same skill set.
So what you're saying is use Thania, but if you had those OP units that you did use those were better.
Yeah, of course. Then you look at the tier lists, I guess, right?
Yeah, I gotta have to look at the tier list. All right, cool. Well, let's get into the second one. The second biggest tip that you have for the community, that you wish you knew when you first got started, what would that be?
Yep. Definitely don't bet on your AI of your manually controlled players being amazing.
Sure.
I mean, like you said, and you kind of stated it, is Cleo kind of derps on her skills. I focused on Cleo first, and then she wasn't healing. She wasn't putting out her defense buff. And I was like, what is going on? Is their skill gauges up? So after testing halfway through, I make sure, like, manually, I raise her skill bars all the way up to 100% full, like, just by auto attacking. And then I switch back to my other characters. And in the dungeon, I wasn't getting a defense buff. I wasn't getting a heal. And then literally, I did a video about it, but everybody died except for myself because I was iframe dodging. So there's a lot of characters that don't use their AI when they're supposed to, or they stand in easy raid mechanics. I mean, everybody who plays World of Warcraft and Raided or SWTOR, Star Wars, Old Republic, it's easy raid mechanics. If you see red on the ground, you move out of the way.
Right, yeah.
So the AI, sometimes they're pretty good. They actually dodge out of it and roll, but half the time they just stand in it and look stupid. So, yeah, and then also your AI that you're not controlling, their skill gauges go really slow. And even if looking at your screen, if you see they're just standing there half the time.
Right.
And then they auto attack for a couple times and then they stop for a while. And that hurts their skill gauges. So what's the point of bringing, really strategic theory crafted teams when they don't do things half the time?
Right. The third biggest tip that you have for the newer players out there in the community, which one is it?
Yeah. And this is probably the most important, is use co-op and Discord to your advantage. Discord. Okay. So I've been on Discord for a long time and I wish I used it more, but just the way I am, wife, 2 kids, business, blah, 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 I don't get to use it as much. I've been using it a lot more lately, but if you get on the Dragalia Lost main Discord, there's literally rooms for everything. There's rooms for co-op, there's rooms for raids, there's rooms for events, there's people in voice chat all the time. I mean, there's a ton of things that you can do in Discord to co-op into your game. So if you're having trouble beating the last stage of your story, or, you know, easy mode, whatever, chapter 6, you're having problem with the last stage, you can go into Discord, ask someone to join your co-op, and people will jump in to either help you, or, you know, because they're having the same issue as well, and you guys can work that out together.
Right.
Co-op with 4 people is better than solo with 3 AI and 1 helper, for sure. Discord, when you're into events like the last one, not this Halloween event. Oh, my phone, sorry. When you're into the last event, where it's nonstop co-op with the fire dragon, Brunhilde, or whatever her name was. They had rooms spamming expert nonstop, which is the EX raid. The EX rate was when you beat the highest level, you get that EX raid, and you just get pretty much double rewards, or whatever the case may be. But Discord is definitely something you guys should jump into and use. I have no affiliate with them. I'm just promoting it because it's a huge advantage to your game.
Yeah, I actually remember even when Discord was kind of get jumped off, and people were like, I mean, it's okay, it's nice, but then of course it got a little bit more popularity, and people were like, wow, like if you don't Discord, what's wrong? You know, you're wrong. Like that's that's like just the things people do. Is I grew up on the TeamSpeak and Ventrilo. You probably did a little bit as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Ventrilo was like a must-have for WoW rating.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Got to do it here. So yeah, we're gonna finish up this boss battle that we got going on, and then we're gonna be moving on to some co-op here. One of the things that recently got brought out here was the 13,000 might dungeon, the High Mirror Guard some more dungeon. Now I'm not ready for that right now. We just hit the 10,000 mark, so we'll go ahead and kind of prep ourselves for maybe one of the dragons. We'll do a dragon co-op here.
Like, well, Maribel's top tier for sure, just because of that defense break. Yeah. It's huge. It's pretty much game breaking. So a lot of people are using Maribel to get that special achievement for under the 2-minute run in the last event.
Okay.
Just because like they would put Maribel on the team, and I think she starts out with like 100% skill gauge or something like that. I don't have her, but I think she has like a skill gauge thing, and then they literally at the beginning of that raid, they would cast a defense buff and then switch to their fire element DPS and then just burn the dragon down.
There you go. Feels good, man, to know that I have a unit that's actually wanted.
Yep, for sure.
All right. So here we go. This is that nice little co-op pause. We got to wait about 2 years for all the other players to sync up.
Right.
And then we're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to see what this Ezolith actually does. We got 2 of them, of course.
We got 2 of them, yeah.
Yep. So, yeah. I'm using Verica, as you saw, but
right.
She's so good. I mean, especially if you're planning towards progressing to high Midgard trial. She's so good because she has built-in stun resist as well. And you need stun resist in high Midgard trial.
Oh yeah, actually, if I recall correctly, there was some worm print that you have to make in order to like reduce the amount of damage that you take from the first AoE or something like that. Did you check that out?
Yep, it's needed for sure. I mean, you can't really do it without it. There's no way. I mean, and you have to literally farm Nature Onslaught, and then you have to also farm what is it? This dragon here, I believe.
Whoa, my God! I almost got hit by that.
Yeah, that hits hard too.
Yeah. I get chain stunned so much, it's ridiculous. I gotta work on my thing here. Oh, there we go.
See, and as you saw, like the Ezolith over there was stunned,
right?
Because it's hard to dodge out of the stuns as melee,
right?
So that's why. And this is literally the hardest dungeon for me when I'm trying to co-op. I mean, I could have jumped on Discord and just said, "Hey, try to get 3 stars on Nature," and I know a couple of people that could have just went with it, but you know, I don't have time to get on Discord a lot.
Right. And I forgot how I think I'm using the tier 2 staff that gives me a really close AoE attack, but I have to.
Yeah.
I always realize I'm not close enough and waste it here. So. Overdrive's almost done, so we'll go ahead and get the dragon up in there.
Yes, sir.
The best time to get it in?
Yeah, I usually pop my dragon because of the because break is only like a certain amount of time.
Right.
I usually
Right.
pop my dragon like right before. Nice, that'll be 3 stars.
That should be, yeah.
I drop the dragon literally when overdrive is super low, so that I don't waste any time. And right when break comes up, I can just cast the special.
Awesome. Well, all right, all right. We got it done. 3-star. Did we get it? Actually,
Well, thanks for carrying me, man.
Yeah, that's what I do. Okay, the pleb carried the senpai. That's what we could have done. So, but yeah, what we'll go ahead and do is we'll close off the video right there. And everybody that's watching on YouTube, stay tuned because we're going to be getting together for probably one of my biggest epic fails to date. I've been playing this game now, I think it's been a little over a month, and of all the stuff that I've done, because like he said before in our first tip or whatnot, there's people spread out their resources and priorities too much. I did not get my chapter 6 done, which opens up the Imperial Onslaught, which is super important for the late to end game. So in our next video, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking a look at the Imperial Onslaught, some of the things that you need to consider when going up into those stages, and possibly some tips on that front. So again, thank you Barcode again for coming on board to our channel. I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the time.
So that's going to be it, guys. If you guys want to go ahead and check out Barcode, I will leave a link in the description for his YouTube and Twitch, okay? Take care, God bless, and we will see you all in the next one.